or if you're new here, just welcome. I am Texas Beach Mom or Mama Robin, whichever you prefer. It's entirely up to you. And tonight is my Friday Night Live, and I did a poll earlier this morning, and I asked people what they wanted to discuss. I gave them a couple choices: the Kennedy files, or the new death at Lady Bird Lake, most recent death at Lady Bird Lake, and it was a 70-30 split. 30% of the people wanted to hear about JFK files. 70% wanted to hear about Lady Bird Lake. So let's go ahead and get into it. For those who are new to my channel or new to my live streams or just whatever, I've been talking about this Lady Bird Lake thing for a little while. So let me give the newer people a little bit of a recap, a history, if you will, and we'll go from there. Lady Bird Lake is a lake in Austin, Texas. It's named after Lady Bird Johnson, who was President Johnson's wife, Lyndon Johnson. I think he was after Kennedy to be I think. I'm not sure though. I'd have to go look that up because I'm not a history person. I'm not a history buff. But anyway, there's a lake in Austin, Texas. It's a pretty good sized lake, and it's surrounded by obviously a lot of trees and stuff. There's no swimming allowed in this lake. None. Zero, zilch, nada. No swimming. Because there's deadly algae in the lake. And so there's no swimming allowed. There is boating. It doesn't happen very often. And really this time of year, I mean, it is March. It's the end of March. The water temperature in Lady Bird Lake is right around 70. But that's going to feel kind of cold. I mean, compared to, like 80 or 90 degree water where the sun's heating it up all day, 70-degree water is going to feel kind of cold. And that's during the day. It's going to feel even colder at night. And over the last 2.5 years, there's been, as of yesterday, there's a total of 17 deaths at Lady Bird Lake. 17 people have mysteriously died. Now, the majority of these people fit a type. Most of them have been men. Most of them have been between 25 and 35. And most have been dark hair and dark skin. A lot of them have been Hispanic. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the chat. I'm just kind of doing a background on the deaths at Lady Bird Lake in Austin, Texas. For the people that don't... Hi. For the people that aren't familiar with it or aren't familiar with my channel and are new to the channel. Hi, Jody. I'm talking about Lady Bird Lake. There was a poll and 70% of the people agreed on Lady Bird Lake. Yes, Austin, Texas. So, there's been 17 people as of yesterday that died in Lady Bird Lake. And, one or two drownings. I like Austin. That particular area of Austin where Lady Bird Lake is at. Oh, honey, you're welcome, Jody. I'm always going to speak up for Shanann. I don't understand why, and this is off topic. I'll get back to Lady Bird Lake in a minute. Hello. Hi. I don't know why so many people want to throw her ass under the bus. You know what I mean? I think that's horrible. But back to Lady Bird Lake. There's been 17 people as of yesterday that have drowned at Lady Bird Lake. I'm doing air quotes because I'm trying to hold my phone. So that's the quick recap. Like I said, most of them have been Hispanic. Most of them between the age of 25 to 35. Most of them, or if they're not in that age group, they look like they could be in that age group. It's just a little odd that many people died in 2.5 years. Yeah, I know you're a mod there, Jody. I was actually surprised when you started watching my channel because you're so close to Kelly. And I'm sure you still are. But I would be looking for a mod, but I don't ever have enough people. I don't feel like I have enough people that I need a mod at this point. Who knows? That could change. But anyway, so Lady Bird Lake has had 17 people die in the last 2.5 years. Well, thank you, Jody. I like you too, hon. I've had my differences with some other YouTubers, but that don't mean I like them or that I don't like them. It just means I don't agree with them. However, back to the so that's a lot of people to die in a 2.5 year time span, and it's not just happening in Austin, Texas. It's happening in Chicago, Michigan, New York, and a couple other states. I can't remember. And it's like I don't have the information in front of me right now. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. But it's been a bunch of other states that it's happening in, and they seem to go. When they go down in Texas, they seem to go up in other areas, and when they go down in those other areas, they seem to spike in Texas. So anyway, it's been 17 people. Now, like I said, most of them follow a, not a pattern, what am I trying to say? They all look similar. They're around the same age. So and so on. They're all male. Actually, they're not all male. Out of the 17 people that have died, 2 have been female. One was 72. One was, and the most recent one yesterday was 60. So the majority of people that have died at this lake have been men. And the majority of those, out of 17 people, 15 have been men. And out of those, I think it was 12 or 13 that are either Hispanic descent or they look like they could be of Hispanic descent. They're dark skin, dark eye. And Lady Bird Lake is in a party area where a lot of the bars are out on 6th Street. It's off Congress Bridge. Anyway, so the most recent victim was a 60-year-old woman. I don't have her name yet. Her name has not been released, probably because they haven't told the family yet. Typically, that's why. But she's a 60-year-old woman. She appears to be homeless. She appears to be homeless. So she doesn't follow the majority of people. Like, she doesn't fit in with the majority of people that have died. But I have a question then. Okay, so every single one of these deaths that have happened at Lady Bird Lake, with the exception, I think, one actual murder, the rest of them have been ruled accidental drownings. They've been ruled accidental drownings. They're usually happening in the colder months. I don't know anybody that's swimming at Lady Bird Lake. And most of them are happening like November, December, January, February. This one happened in March. Actually, it happened in late March, so it was yesterday. And it was a 60-year-old woman. They think she was homeless. So I'm 60. I have a question. What is a 60-year-old woman doing at Lady Bird Lake in the middle of the night? She's sure the ship wasn't swimming. There's no swimming allowed, and it's really cold. I mean, like I said, 70 degrees may not sound that cold, but when you're in water and it's nighttime and there's a breeze, that shit's going to be icy. So she was found floating face down yesterday. I don't remember what time yesterday. Like I said, her name hasn't been released. I don't know anything about her hair color or eye color or anything like that. None of that's been released yet. So I will probably do an update video once I get more information. But, so, let me see if I can pull up some information real quick. Did I close it out? No. Sorry. Now let me turn this around so we can see this together. Damn it. Okay. Just in the last year, now the 17 has been over like a 2.5 year time span. But just in the last year, there's been a Clifton Axel, 40 years old, Jonathan Honey, 33, Jonathan Christopher Hayes Clark, 30, Jason John was 30, and a woman in her 60s, which was yesterday. Okay, that's just within the last year. there have been many others over the last 2.5 years. They keep getting written up as accidental drownings, accidental death. So as I've said before, every time I do this, how are all these people drowning? Like, seriously, how have all these people accidentally drowned? 17 people in 2.5 years. Yes, Jody, I do, and I'll go ahead and say it, because I use it for this channel anyway. Or actually, I'll type it. Hold on. If I can figure out how to type it on here. No, that's not what I want to do. Okay. I can't figure out how to do this on my phone right now, but I'll say it out loud. You just write it down. That's a long one. It's Texas Wildflowers 64 at gmail.com. So TEXASWILDFLOWERS 64 at gmail.com. Yeah. So there's that's just been the recent bodies. That has just been the recent bodies. The 60-year-old was yesterday. Let me see what else. Yeah, here's more information about it. Another body was found near Lady Bird Lake in Austin. That would have been the one I'm talking about now. Austin on Thursday morning, March 27th. Officials initiated a welfare check after someone jogging around the lake called the police after seeing someone face down in the water. Jose Mendez with the Austin Police Department stated that on Thursday. Thank you, Jody. I will be sure and read it as soon as I'm done with this. So, anyway, like I said, 17 people in 2.5 years, I feel like is a lot. A lot of the families are getting frustrated. When I cover this, I've been pulling up videos and covering interviews with family members because there's so many people upset. They think that their families are being killed off and that nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit because nobody's doing anything about it. Everybody that gets found, with the one exception, everybody that gets found, it gets ruled an accidental death. Way before, like as soon as they pull the body out, before they examine it, before they get to it, the police are already looking at the news going, nope, it's an accidental drowning, no foul play here. I don't know how 17 people drowning in the same damn lake is not no foul play. I just don't understand. Let me see if I can find, I had some pictures. Let me see if I can find some images to kind of give you guys an idea of what Lady Bird Lake looks like. Now, there's not going to necessarily be the recent ones, but there's some police leaving there, yeah. There's bodies being pulled up. That's obviously taped off because there's been dead bodies. That's the bridge. So as you can see by the pictures, it's your typical lake. Like, it's a lake. It's a big lake in Austin, Texas. I don't remember the size. I did have that written down at some point. I don't remember anymore. So, I don't know the size anymore, but I know it's a big lake. I lost my train of thought for a brief second. I'm sorry. I'm old. It happens. But anyway, so it's your typical lake. You've got trees around it. You've got a path, jogging paths around it. It is really close to a party area. Well, Austin, if we're honest, Austin's a party town. There's 2 colleges down here that I know of. There's Texas Tech, and I don't remember the other one. But I'm not from Texas. I've been here for 13 years, but I don't remember. But I think there's 2 major colleges down here. So there's a lot of partiers, a lot of partying down here. Texas is the music capital, the live music capital of the United States. So again, there's a lot of partying. Most of the lake is surrounded by bars down there. There's usually food trucks down that way. So essentially, take for example yesterday's victim. a 60-year-old woman. What was she doing at Lady Bird Lake? I mean, I'm not saying that she can't go to Lady Bird Lake. There's no swimming allowed. But at the same time, they don't rope it off. There's no safety rails. There's no guards. But let's just think about this for a minute. And I've said this before, and every time I've talked about this. What's she doing? Okay, the other female victim was 72. So let's take the 60-year-old, the 72-year-old. Now, I can kind of get why the guys were down there, but here's the thing about the guys. Most of the time, when you are a young man, or a woman even, oh, I hit the laptop. When you're a young man or a young woman, and you're going to the lake, you're going to go partying at the lake, you're going to go with your friends. Okay? Every single one of these men were alone. They were alone. They weren't partying with friends. I mean, they were up on Congress Avenue, 6th Street, 7th Street, all that down there, Rainy Street. 6th and Rainy really is where this is at. So they're out there partying with their friends, and then they get separated from their friends. Like their friends went home, and maybe they catch an Uber or whatever. But somehow they're ending up on this path, and they end up past the path and on this lake, and then they drown. So let's take the 60-year-old woman that died yesterday. Let's take her for an example. I don't know anything about her height, her weight, her skin color, nothing. I don't know her name yet. I'm sure we will in a few days. But if she was found in the morning, she probably died. I think she died the night before. So that would have been today's Friday. She was found Thursday morning. She probably died Wednesday night. Okay. What was she doing at Lady Bird Lake by herself at night? Was she partying? I mean, she might have been partying down there on Rainy Street. It's mostly college students, but not all of them. I mean, there's a couple bars down there I've been to before. As a matter of fact, what's made the two bars, there's two bars down that are super popular right now because the two actors from Supernatural, Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki, they own a bar together down there. I don't remember the name of it. But it's fairly popular, especially with women. I think Jensen Ackles also owns a brewery down there. Again, I'm not sure, but they're both, they were stars of the TV show Supernatural. Sam and Dean Winchester. Sam was played by Jared Padalecki, and Dean was played by Jensen Ackles. But it's a big party town. So you've got a 60-year-old woman who apparently was homeless. So if she was homeless, she probably wasn't partying. So how did this 60-year-old homeless woman end up dead at the lake? I don't think she drowned. I think she was killed. Now, if it is a serial killer, most serial killers have a type, and this person, male or female, probably does too. But they probably have a type too, and so she doesn't fit the type. But the 72-year-old woman that died was also homeless. So my question is, are they killing people at Lady Bird Lake? Are they killing people at some of these clubs and dumping them in the lake? Or are they killing them somewhere else and dumping them at the lake? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what most of these people like to figure out. We got families. We have got families that are asking questions. They want to know what happened to their family member. Why was my brother killed? And in most cases, when the little bit of like security cam that have caught them leaving bars or something, they're not that drunk. Most of them are not that drunk. They're tipsy, but they're not like drunk. Some of them have been, but most of them have just been a little bit tipsy. So you're saying a reasonably sober 30-year-old man, 25, 30, 35-year-old man who is typically physically fit, he's reasonably sober. You're trying to tell me he's staggering all the way down the hill, all the way past the trees and the grass and the fences and blah, blah, blah. he's staggering all the way down the path and into this and falling into a lake and drowning. No, 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 no. Because first of all, he has to go blocks. And I mention this every time we talk to this. Every time I bring this up, we talk about Lady Bird Lake. I talk about the fact that most of the time these men are in their 25 to 35, or they're older, but they look like they're in that age group. Most of them have been Hispanic. Most of them, not all of them. Or they have the darker hair, darker skin. I believe it's a serial killer, and so do a lot of people. One nickname for the serial killer, if that's what it is the Rainy Street Ripper. I don't know why they added Ripper to it, because he's not like slaughtering people and cutting them into little bits like Jack the Ripper, but he is killing people if it is a serial killer. And as I said at the beginning of this live, I've lost my train of thought. I hate getting old. I have completely lost my train of thought. As I said at the beginning of this live, God, I feel stupid right now. I have completely lost my mind. I can't remember a thing I was going to say. But, so I'll just continue. But, these people are not, I don't believe with any part of me that they're just staggering into Lady Bird Lake. I don't get it. Not 17 people. I don't see it. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to take my hand off this for a minute. Yes, we can see my bedroom for a second. Anyway, I went to my bedroom because my neighbors are out on the front porch partying like they were last week. And I have my doors and windows open because it's warm out and I got my fans on. So I went to my bedroom. But, no, I don't buy it. I don't buy 17 people drowning. Maybe if they were partying at the lake, maybe if they went swimming, they got caught in the current. It's supposed to be a really good current. I don't believe 17 did. And as I said, it's happening in other states. If it was just happening here in Texas, I might be thinking that maybe it's just a bunch of drunk people that aren't paying attention, but it's happening in other states. It's happening in Chicago. It's happening in Michigan. It's happening in New York. It's happening in a few others. I just don't remember them all. But as of right now, I don't have any information on that woman. So what I will probably do is I'm probably going to wrap this up in a little bit. I will probably, once I get the information, I'll probably do an update video. Yeah, I'm probably going to do an update video when I get more information on it, just so that people can see it. But right now, that's all I have. Without recapping and going back over all 17 names, which I don't want to do that. I mean, unless somebody wants me to, I don't want to, because I feel like I get to a point where I repeat myself. That's just me being honest about a bad habit of my own. But with that being said, and then we're going to wrap it up for now. I want everybody, though, to be good. Life is rough out there. There's people drowning in lakes and they weren't swimming. Showed up at the lake, dead. But anyway, everybody be kind to yourselves. Be kind to each other. It's a tough world out there. And I want everybody to be safe, because I genuinely care about everyone. I may not like everyone. I may not agree with everyone, but I genuinely care about everyone. Okay? So, I want everybody to be safe. Make good choices. Take good care. And I love you all. And yeah, this is probably one of the shortest lives I've ever had. Y'all be good. Happy birthday, happy anniversary. And I will be back on Wednesday unless something comes up about this new body. More information comes up and I'll do an update video. But other than that, everybody have a good night and I love you.